spawning in the top left hand corner as the red Terran. Playing for Good Game Gaming, it is Dream.
And spawning here at the bottom right corner of the map. He's the blue Terran playing for himself. It is BYUN. Alright, so a TVT on the map of Submarine. This is going to be the first time we see Submarine. Of course, we all know why that is. This is probably like the player's least favorite map, just because the size of it, the kind of the distance between each natural is pretty short. I believe it's 33 seconds to be exact to get from one end to the other. Wait, I believe, was it Oxide? No, wait, not Oxide. There was one map. I think Lightshade is the other map that is 33 seconds.
Yeah, it is Lightshade.
Yeah, so...
Actually, I think Oxide is maybe 36 or so.
Okay, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's Lightshade, the other one. Very short one.
Yeah, so... Yeah, not a lot of players like to play on this map. Just because of the distance. I guess they, prefer more bigger map of some sort.
Yeah. This matchup can be different, though.
Yeah.
Being able to see more things being able to see more of the map at once, it's always valuable in TVT.
Now the interesting thing is that this is a mirror matchup, and also both these players have the same kind of aggressive playstyle. So it might just come down to micro at this stage here, but we'll see how this plays out.
It's a tough call. Micro between those two guys can just look at those two Reapers, like right now killing each other. Like even this is a battle of the ages. Like all right, no Reaper is gonna fall yet, it seems like, and we see pretty much one player deciding to be the aggressor and one decided to be the defender. So BYUN going to go for that Cyclone while Dream pushes out more Hellions.
Oh, but these Reapers from BYUN is going to go ahead and just bypass Dream here. Going to go into the main. Will he get some additional SCVs? Yep, got 2, make it 3. Will we get a 4th?
Oh, maybe even a 5th one. Losing those Reapers right now, not gonna be the worst thing that can happen to him. He already has a Cyclone in his production tab, and he's already pretty much done for the defense. Once the Cyclone is out, it's very hard to break a Terran player in TVT. Of course, it's still gonna be the 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions, but BYUN will start to set up a few Marines in the production to stop the Reapers from climbing up, and with a Cyclone here, we will get the lock-on the Hellions. This is exactly what happens. Now the Cyclone cannot trade to... No, oh my god, it's so dangerous to be there for you, Cyclone. He will still survive. The fight will go in favor of BYUN nonetheless. And man, this player today, just crazy. Even the smallest trades, always microing so efficiently in every single spot. Saving that Cyclone was not an easy task.
Yeah, and it's going to be important to save those Cyclones just because, in the early game especially, like Cyclones pretty much is like one of the perfect defenders. I mean, it could pretty much, counter a lot of the aggression from the opponent, and it could attack ground, it could attack air, so things like Banshees or maybe Ravens, as well as the Hellions and Reapers in the ground. So a really, really great I guess unit to have in the early game.
Beautiful save by BYUN, stopping the lock-on from Dream Cyclone onto his own Cyclone by lifting up into the Medivac. But now it's this Banshee causing a ruckus in Dream side of the map, of course. Now the Cyclone can get a lock-on. This is a dangerous threat to be in for this one little Banshee. Second lock-on gets used and the Banshee will go down just like that. 4 SCVs for a Banshee, another inefficient trade for Dream. is finding himself more and more behind by the second.
Yeah, like I said, Cyclone's has a lot of versatility during this point in the game, and now BYUN looking to put on some pressure here across the map. What do we have for Dream right now? Let's take a look at the units tab here. 1 Raven, 6 Marines, and 1 tank, as well as 2 Cyclones.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close call, especially if the Cyclones can get close to the Raven. As always, the Raven is just such an important unit in this matchup. It's so pivotal in every single aspect, whether it is defense, offense, or you just map control. Having those Ravens at the ready is so incredibly important. Alright, BYUN flying in with the Medivac, getting vision a little bit everywhere thanks to his Raven as well. And there is a tank on the high ground for Dream. But the most important thing are of course going to be his 2 Ravens. Let's see who gets the Raven fight a little bit better. Now the Cyclones will not get a lock on onto the command center. Oh, now they will though. The command center is in real danger. Let me tell you this, losing that will be very harsh on Dream. He's not gonna lose that. He's gonna wait for the right moment to strike. But this is a hard contain from BYUN. The Raven making their way around will not gonna have an easy time against the Cyclone if they find themselves way too close. A butt shot from the tanks on Dream on the army of BYUN will take him into a head start, but now the interference matrix can come, and it's that will break this contain easily. Both Ravens will survive as well for Dream, and this is an easy clear for the red Terran player. Even having to face this Medivac flying left and right, he was still able to break the contain. BYUN gonna have to take these losses and come back stronger once the time is nigh.
Alright, looks like has reset it to a pretty even game here. Both players are kind of even on the workers as well as the army. Both are getting stim. A little bit faster stim here for BYUN, but shouldn't matter too much.
No, probably not. I'm more concerned with the Vikings production, to be honest. On one side, we already have started with the Viking production. On the other, we see the 3 Ravens. Ravens can be great, but when Vikings start to grow a little bit TFT numbers, like they really struggle in high numbers to do something. Unless they are able to put down a lot of turrets before anything can happen, it just doesn't lead to any beautiful place. Meanwhile, the Cyclone of Dream trying to trade for some SCPs will be able to kill 3 of them. But now BYUN has set up yet another contain. It's 4 tanks against 6 though, so this can be very dangerous. Looks like the Medivac out of BYUN will barely survive on the left side and will start getting a lot of SCVs killed. Now the 3 Ravens are making their way. It's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be 3 interference matrices at once, and the 6 tanks are making a lot of work. Now anti-armor turrets are gonna, auto turrets, sorry, are gonna do so much in favor of BYUN in this trade. But this is still gonna be a clear, it looks like. Meanwhile, 10 SCVs have been killed. Now the Vikings land on the ground, and man, the Vikings deal so much damage to those tanks. The Ravens are needed right back into the front. 12 SCVs fallen for Dream. BYUN's army has been reset once more, but this guy has just won a fight with 2 tanks disadvantage and having 3 of his own tanks being interference matrices.
Yeah, let's look at the units lost tab. Pretty even trade, although there is a bit more gas loss here for BYUN, while there's a bit more minerals loss here for a Dream. But let's take out the units that currently 3 Ravens though left over for Dream. That is going to be significant during the next few couple of engagements. And yeah, they could just wrap up those energy, get those interference matrix. BYUN is going to definitely need to kind of do some type of maneuvering to mitigate that Raven disadvantage.
I feel like Dream has been so slow in on his upgrades though this game. Like BYUN is already halfway through his +2/+2. If that upgrade kicks in and a fight immediately starts, It's not gonna be close, guys. It's not gonna be close at all. The Marines can just get a concave and destroy everything. Not gonna happen now, though. It's the good old stalemate between the two Terrans with Siege Tank and no Vikings. But of course, it looks like Dream will be steaming forward, but that's a beautiful anti-armor missile. It means that the tanks are gonna fall for BYUN, but the army of Dream is gonna take some severe losses as well. Dream's army is still much stronger than the one of his opponent. The upgrades are soon to kick in for BYUN. BYUN needs time. BYUN needs more time. Both the Ravens for Dream are gonna fall. And this is already great. There's still a lot of Cheeto dust on the army of Dream. The SCVs are pulled into the fight, and they will be able to shoot the Marines for the time being. The last auto turret will fall. Only one Raven standing in it. There's no energy. On the other side of the map, 12 SCVs have fallen to the attack of BYUN. But BYUN is losing so much on his own side as well. The tanks are sieging forward, and now the SCVs are gonna be pulled into the fight. The two Vikings are not doing enough. 28 SCVs and counting are gonna fall. BYUN will eventually kill this last tank. But man, the price paid was way too high for this. Way too high. 31 SCVs lost, and Dream is sending the rest of his own army through the map, doubling the supply of his opponent. The Raven still standing, still gonna drop down one auto turret, and this is gonna be the end of BYUN, guys. Dream will get the first victory of this series shortly, and quite in an off-putting way as well. BYUN playing such an awesome game, but Dream brute forcing through. He's gonna be able, even with worse upgrades, to still put up one heck of a fight. Getting this contain over here, losing even a lot of SCVs back home to this drop by BYUN, but still being so immensely ahead in the army squad.
Oh yeah, I mean BYUN does have the 2-2 upgrade versus the 1-1, so his units are stronger, but the quality, or not the quality, the quantity of units are still in favor of Dream. So it's a little bit of a weird scenario here. Let's see if a Dream can kind of finish out BYUN.
It looks like I might have called this game a little bit earlier, but this doesn't mean that Dream is not in a commanding position. BYUN doing its best to buy a little bit of time. He's BYUN in workers, he's BYUN in bases, and now this Liberator being the life stand of BYUN already says a lot about the position of the Red Terran player. Alright, BYUN steaming forward, trying to shoo away the army of Dream. He will be able to do so, or will he though? Oh my god, the tank melts to the army of BYUN. The Blue Terran taking such an incredible trade, but he's still behind in army.
Whew. But it's a lot closer than before, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry for calling the game so early, but man, Dream was feeling like he won.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, he did look in a pretty dominant position, but BYUN, being the crazy man he is one of those players that you can never really count out. He makes impossible game look possible, and right now he is still a little bit behind, I would say, but he is crawling himself way back right now. He's still, enjoying that. Oh, actually, never mind. Dream just finished 2-2, so upgrades are even. BYUN a bit behind there on the worker count as well. Looks like Dream is pulling ahead on the army as well. So BYUN still has a little bit of work to do.
It looks like Dream will be establishing a stronger economy, but it still needs a little bit of time. Waiting for those upgrades to close out the game. He's gonna be having much quicker +3/+3, and man, +3/+3 is probably the key in this matchup. If you get an upgrade before your opponent, your Marines are they're gonna survive tank shots, first of all, very easily, and they just eat like a truck.
Yeah, especially since both these players have a Marine. The majority of their army is in those Marines, which has a lot of high DPS. And those upgrades really kind of favors, those DPS advantages or high DPS units. Here we go. Dream is going to go ahead and try to chase this group of Marines playing tag, but there's a lot of tanks there behind on BYUN. Got to be careful how to engage.
All right, getting the tank trade favorably, BYUN will tie up. Actually, will surpass his opponent, having 9 tanks against 7. Of course, not a single Viking inside for Dream will mean that he's not gonna have any easy trades against these tanks. So once more, that +3/+3 upgrades is the signal is waiting before committing to any kind of attack. And the first player to steam in these kind of trades is very often the player who tends to win the engagement.
Yeah, it's also important to note that Dream does not have the Ravens anymore, so there's no, interference matrix or anti-armored missiles to be thrown around, as well as all auto turrets. And oh, look at this! Dream setting up a kind of a little bit of a flank here. Got one half of his army to the top right side, while he has the other half into the lower bottom side. We might actually see him try to set up a beautiful engagement, but here we go.
Man, BYUN losing so many of his own marines without really getting much. The Vikings, of course, are helping with the tanks getting shots on top of the tanks of Dream, but Dream doesn't really care right now. He's just gonna steam on the other side. +3/+3 is a second from kicking in. Here it comes. Infantry weapons level 3 kicks in, but it's not gonna be enough. The armor is the most important thing of them all. Of course, 22 SCVs have been killed. But on the other side, there's still a little bit of a nasty drop by BYUN, killing 8 SCVs out of Dream. Dream commandingly in the lead, economy-wise, ahead with the army. Not gonna be ahead with the upgrades for a lot longer, but he's taking every single trade better than his opponent right now. And even losing these many tanks doesn't mean he cannot break these positions.
Alright, another skirmish here out in the middle. Siege tanks are sieged up, but the rest of the reinforcement here coming from Dream, getting a nice little concave here. Ooh, that is a beautiful engagement.
In the end, both players are gonna take a lot of losses and probably be licking their wounds for quite a while. But Dream has been consistently sending more reinforcements. He's been consistently producing more units. He has 2 more wrecks, and he has 2 more starports, meaning that he can have such a powerful army in such little time, while BYUN still struggling to find a good economy, still struggling to drop down a Viking advantage. And this game has been looking rough on him so far.
Alright, looks like both players kind of at a little bit of a standstill here. None of these players have the air superiority to kind of move forward a bit or do the slow push. But we do see BYUN kind of doing some expanding towards the top side. We'll go unscouted. And actually, as I look at it, I think BYUN, yeah, he has more bases compared to Dream, if I'm not mistaken. So Dream definitely does not want to leave BYUN unanswered with the extra bases. And looks like he finally does scout that base right there. We'll force the liftoff.
Or maybe even a kill. Like, this base needs to float in a corner where it cannot be found and probably will be there for quite a long time. BYUN will even lose a couple SCVs with the... Oh, yeah. The command center is burning out. Oh, that is a lost command center. He took the risk, and the Dream just managed to break this a little bit of an attempt to get an advantage in economy that BYUN tried. Of course, though, BYUN, being the incredible player he is, he's ahead in army supply. I have no idea how he managed to do that. It's kind of crazy, but he managed. And now, with Vikings being up, he can get some pot shots at the tanks. Right now, the army supply is not gonna last. Dream is gonna take it back. And with the 4 Ravens, yes, gonna go up to 6, actually. It's gonna be so hard for BYUN to get at any single trade. Look at these Ravens being such a threat.
Oh, man. Yeah, I feel like those are probably gonna be the game changers here during the fight. And here we go. Does he have... He might want to save enough energy, though, before engaging. A little bit of a useless interference matrix there.
Yeah, these Vikings getting very dangerously close. Right now, BYUN steaming with much more Marines. But here comes the anti-armor missile. And the tanks coming in clutch, winning the trade in favor of Dream. This game has been such a beautiful game from both these players. BYUN surviving by the skin of his teeth, managing to get back into this. But man, Dream so ahead, doesn't manage to close it out, just barely, many different times. Another anti-armor missile, BYUN steaming before his opponent will get a very interesting trade, but Dream still has a little bit of a better army. Right now, these Vikings really being a threat all the time, threatening these Ravens back, and Dream adding even more of these flying casters. 8, gonna be 10 in a little while. Anti-armor missile, auto turrets, every single spell casted at once. Still not gonna be enough.
Oh, I'm a little bit worried here. Did Dream make too much Ravens? He doesn't have quite enough Vikings underneath it, and now the Vikings of BYUN could get some few shots. Oh, but the right goes overextended there under the Marines, so no more Vikings here for our blue Terran. But Dream still once again having those Ravens there, so all of a sudden Dream looking pretty strong. But BYUN, you know how crazy his micro is, so anything can still happen.
TY Fanboy pointing out in the chat, those counter-attacks by BYUN keeping in the game. Man, this guy always knows when to strike and what to strike. And he was able to stay in this game, even just barely, thanks to the SCV's kill. The SCV kills that he managed to clump up throughout the game. Another anti-armor missile will go down on this bio army. And now interference matrices will come flying down on every single tank. This will probably be the last stand of the blue Terran. So many Marines, so many Ravens, so much everything will go here from Dream. And this game is gonna be over right now in favor of the red Terran. Better game decisions, a little bit stronger trades, and managing to snowball that advantage he got earlier, even in difficult situation, granted him the win. Still the first game of the set, and it was quite an incredible one at that.
Yeah, what a game number one. Dream playing that out beautifully, but I gotta give some props to BYUN as well, making that game a lot longer than it should have been. Because remember, at that point earlier in the game, we all thought that Dream was about to just close it out, but somehow, some way, BYUN just held on, kept holding on. As TY Fanboy in the chat said, thanks to those BYUN counterattacks, he kind of kept himself in the game, even overtook the army supply lead at one point. So
Yep.
Yeah, BYUN is just a crazy man, just proving his great macro game, but also Dream, just playing that TVT very beautifully and was able to clinch that game.
Very much on point on every single decision he had to make, even though he was getting out of the early game a little bit rusted on the edges, I'd say. But I have to admit it, beautiful game by Dream, and all in all, deserved victory in game number 1. It's the second set now. We're on Oxide, whole new story, and man, after Submarine, straight into Oxide. Let's see how these guys will go, benefiting on the advantage here, leading 1-0 this series. Plays for good gaming. It is Dream.
And spawn here at the bottom left corner of the map. He's the blue Terran player, looking to tie up the series. Can he do it? Give it up for BYUN.
If there is one player who can do that, it's him.
Oh yeah, for sure. TVT can definitely snowball out of control like it did a little bit at that last game. It was a very kind of action-packed back and forth, which I really loved. And mind you, that was only the first game, so if the series was any indication of that first game, we are certainly in for a treat here.
Yeah, there were certainly some few moments in which the two players did some sloppy mistakes, I'd say. but it's so hard to be perfect in this matchup. It's very, very difficult for any player to not lose any tank, to not being the second one to steam, and things such as that. You have to keep a close eye to everything going on, and you have to be able to outmaneuver your opponent, which is at this level such an incredible feat.
All right, first Reaper making its way across the map by Dream, not actually leaving the Reaper back at home. We still see sometimes that, you know, some Terran players, they kind of leave the Reaper at home just in case, but then some actually move across the map to kind of just scout what's up here. Gotta be careful though. They'll not want to lose that first initial Reaper, because in the early game, if it snowballs, it can get really ugly really soon.
Yeah, with 3 aliens and 2 Reapers battles that can usually begin in the early game stages, it can really get you behind very quickly.
But so far, it looks like both players has opened up relatively similar to each other. Oh, actually, Dream does lose his Reaper there.
The roles are kind of shifted. We see Dream going for the Cyclone, we see BYUN going for the heavier alien style. I always favor the defensive player in TVT. I feel like getting to a stage in which you feel comfortable without taking any losses, forcing your opponent out of your comfort zone, and getting efficient trades is always going to work out in your favor in this matchup. But that also means you cannot get a lot of scouting, and scouting in mirror matchups is especially important.
Alright, looks like BYUN feels like he has enough to get on top of this. Actually backs out. I think he could have actually gone on top of the Cyclone, but gonna play it safe for now and just back off and retreat for the time being.
I was also pretty surprised he didn't decide to get on top of the Cyclone. Getting a Cyclone kill early in the game can grant you a very strong advantage. I wasn't really feeling like it. It's understandable that you don't want to risk that much, but on the other hand, it would have been probably the best choice.
All right, so looks like so far for now, both players are content with just kind of sitting back, macroing. We see Dream throwing down that third CC a lot earlier compared to BYUN. BYUN looks like he might want to go for some type of pressure as he is delaying that third command center. Actually, yeah, it looks like he's throwing down that second Rax. On the other side, though, we don't have a second Rax from a Dream, as he has invested a bit of minerals into that third CC. So BYUN is definitely going to need to get some economic damage done here, or before he's going to get a little bit out macroed.
Yeah, definitely. It's a tough spot to be in, but when mirror matchups tend to get so different, like the production tab in the mirror matchup tends to get so different, it's either going to be a very big fight which goes disastrously for one player, or either gonna be a slow roll into a faster economy that can just snowball out of control. Dream needs to be able to catch what is going on before this gets out of his control. Well, the opposite, sorry, the opposite.
We see a little bit of a move out fight by both players. Looks like Dream is going to set up a two-prong Raven harass here with the auto turrets, while some of BYUN's army is outside the natural of Dream.
Oh, this Raven getting some kills over here. 5 SCVs, 6 SCVs actually going down. 7, 8. Oh, that's a little bit too much. It's just a single auto turret. It's just a little bit too much. Yeah, BYUN being heavily behind in workers, and with Dream having his fair command center up that much faster, doesn't really look like it's gonna be in a very good spot unless he gets any significant trade.
Yeah, especially since those Ravens actually retreated back home safely sound. And yeah, Dream is gonna be in quite a little bit of a lead here for the next couple of moments once he starts establishing and mining off of that third base.
Alright, lock on onto the Raven, not gonna get much. Oh, that's a beautiful grenade, but still not gonna be enough. The army of BYUN getting trapped on two different sides. Well, not the army, the Cyclones and the Reapers. Still an important part of it though. And losing all the Cyclones must hurt very bad for BYUN. He's still setting up for that Doom drop, and that is going to be the most important thing. It looks like he wants to get damage early on. He wants to get that beautiful army. He knows how to control so perfectly going on, but Dream had that one spotting Marine just in the right place, and BYUN cannot get into that natural.
Oh man, such a great spotter there. And you always want to do this as a Terran, just because on this map is a lot wider as well. You definitely want to get some Marine spotters onto the left and right side.
Oh, that beautiful anti-turret, auto-turret, the beautiful anti-armor missile, and those beautiful interference matrices were still not enough to stop the Marines from BYUN, to stop their lust for blood. And in the end, it looks like the Blue Terran might have got finally the first good engagement of his second game. Of course, losing the Raven hurts a little bit, especially against the 3 Ravens out of Dream, but he's still in a pretty decent spot. Like, he doesn't really need much more. He's gonna drop down those tanks here in the natural, good sieging up position, very hard to break, to be honest, and now Dream is gonna be facing some SCV's losses of his own. This is not the greatest spot for Dream to be in. He's gonna be pulling all of his units into one side, hoping it is enough to stop the tanks, but he's very much not. His own tanks are gonna be destroyed by the ones of BYUN, and now, discontained in his own natural, he's been looking harder and harder to break by the second. BYUN still having so many medivacs at the ready over here in Dream's natural, but Dream has the Ravens, has the production right there, and he can't really do something unless he loses the Ravens to the Vikings. That will be devastating.
Yeah, right now, BYUN has a chokehold here onto the natural of a Dream, and what can Dream do? I mean, he's trying to build up that Raven energy to get some interference matrix before engaging, and here we go. Actually, he's just going to go ahead and just throw down those auto turrets, but is it enough?
Oh, the auto turrets get destroyed in an instant. The two armies clashing against each other. The SCV is being pulled into the fight by Dream. It still means that BYUN will get the better end of this fight, and it's gonna be a tie. Beautiful game by the Blue Terran.
Yeah, does even up the point or the scoreboard 1-1. So yeah, just really well done there. BYUN taking advantage of that area, sieging up in time, and just unfortunately for Dream though, because he did have the earlier spotter Marine, but didn't kind of send another spotter Marine, and the second time BYUN went for that Doom drop of some sort. Was able to get the first step on Dream, and at that point, it was just a bit hard for Dream to break it, especially since I think, like, if anyone of you guys noticed, a part of Dream's army actually was a little bit undecisive. It was like kind of like, I guess, like waddling between getting those tanks at the outside of the natural, or go into the tanks that are right in the natural, and that kind of gave BYUN a bit of extra pot shots, and it was pretty much GG from then on.
Yeah, it was way too easy for BYUN to set up that kind of attack, and to be honest, that is something that you should never allow your opponent to get so close to you, sieging up so much quicker than you. That was a little bit sloppy, but it's a new game, new story. It's the set number 3, and we're on Pillars of Gold here. In the bottom right hand corner is where the Red Terran is currently spawning. Playing for good game gaming. It is Dream.
And spawn here at the top right corner of the map is the Blue Terran player. About to encounter some mac and cheese. It is BYUN.
Alrighty, this kind of looks like a pretty standard Reaper T-Rex. But BYUN, man, is so good at microing. This can lead to some very interesting places. On the other side, Dream, it just proxies all day, man. Just proxies so much.
Well, it might actually turn out really well because so far BYUN has yet to scout this. So, but the good thing for BYUN is that it doesn't look like he is trying to expand anytime soon. But he needs to throw down that factory like really quickly. He just might need to throw down or grab a few SCVs to help defend as well. His Reaper is about to pop out, but he's gonna sooner or later find out about that proxy 2 racks there.
It looks like Dream will be waiting for his second Reaper before getting in. Okay, this battle not gonna really go in favor of BYUN. He decides to retreat, but the second Reaper almost done. Ooh. Rough spot for BYUN to be in, but cheese can begin. 2 Reapers getting over here, trying to get on top of the SCVs. One of them is absolutely going to fall in a little while, but the Reaper is the main focus as of now, and the Reaper out of BYUN falls. That is devastating. Second Reaper sure to be done. And oh my goodness, that round was something out of this world. And it's gonna be the kill on both Reapers out of Dream, and that's not great.
Oh my goodness. BYUN is like face palming so hard right now. He was so in a great position with those 2 Reapers, but got the surround with those SCVs. He was trying to go down to the bottom, but apparently that cliff area doesn't allow you to. You need to like kind of go to a little bit more south to finally, jump off the cliff. But he instead ran those Reapers into those SCVs, and now BYUN, what looked like a pretty precarious positioning, is now in a pretty safe spot.
Definitely, those Marines will not be able to trade like that great against Reapers when low in numbers, but the aliens are such a threat. The aliens can just chase down the Reapers and get such a great fight against them. Not gonna be easy. Alright, 5 Reapers, 6-1, and then probably gonna stop. Dream is gonna send one of his own Rex into the main base of BYUN to get scouting. But I really doubt that those Reapers will try to... Oh my god, he's trying to. He is trying to. He needs to get on top of the alien. So many grenades going down at once, but every single one of his Reaper is just gonna be melted. GG gets gold. And BYUN, it's game number 3 of the series. Proxy broken. But that was kind of unlucky.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. All right, looks like BYUN will go ahead and take the lead here in the series 2-1. But this is a best of 7, so plenty of opportunities for Dream to come back and make it a retake the series lead here.
Of course, this is still going to be one of the most important games of the series, and it's going to be on Jagannath.
Yeah.
This map pool, this is the map pool that always gives. This is a beautiful map pool for a viewer standpoint. It's just, it keeps on giving, man.
Yeah, a lot of these maps are just so, I guess, different and unique compared to one another. I really like it. It has a different variety of kind of planes and designs, and I really like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes up for so much strategy just in a veto phase, in a peak map selection phase. It just adds a whole other layer of strategy to a game which is already pretty complicated, but at this level it kind of needs this little bit of a more focused strategy based on maps. Just think about Brood War, a game which the only balance that has been used for 10 and plus years is just the change of maps. And it's a beautiful game in a beautiful state, so...
Indeed.
Alright. Losing 2 in a row, actually. Here, on Jagannath's bottom right left-hand corner. The red Terran is currently spawning. The momentum not on his side. Can he make his shift? Playing for good game gaming. It is Dream.
And spawn here at the top right corner of the map in the blue trunks. On a 2-game winning streak, can he make it 3? Make some noise for BYUN.
Alright, lesson learned for Dream. No proxy here on Jagannatha against BYUN. Worked out very well against Solar, but that was a little bit of a different race he was facing.
Yeah, I mean, proxying against BYUN is probably not the best idea just because, I mean,
Nope.
BYUN is like considered by some the king of micro. And during those early, skirmishes with those proxy cheeses, it really comes down to micro. And so BYUN, now to be fair, Dream did micro pretty well to start off with, but just got a little bit unlucky, got surrounded by those SCVs. I think if he did not get surrounded by those SCVs, it could have been turned out to be a different game.
Yeah, it was a lot of unlucky situations, just adding up one upon each other. But in the end, big ups for BYUN, because that was a very solid defense. Alright, both players sending out their Reapers. They're not gonna find themselves in the middle of the map, not one of those maps. So, they're just gonna have to fight the other Reaper, which is soon to come out from both these Rexes. And it looks like Dream's command center is gonna be slowed down by quite a bit, but BYUN's command center didn't even start yet. So, that's something. Meanwhile, BYUN able to kill 2 SCVs? How did he manage?
Yeah, I think he killed one of them on the low ground, or the one that was making the CC, and then the other one while Dream was trying to rally it.
Oh, BYUN. You trapped your own Reaper. Yeah, there's no escape from the corner bases, guys. There's only one way in, and there's only one way out. Oh, this alien heading a little bit too forward, it looks like. BYUN has much a stronger army in this fight, and this can snowball quite easily. Doesn't look like BYUN is gonna overcommit, knowing there's one more Reaper coming. Now he has the army to do so with the second alien, and he's gonna definitely commit. Look at his fast boy running fast on top of everything. It looks like it's gonna be another one trade for BYUN. His Reaper barely dies, leaving just one alien standing. But even that one alien could possibly stop a little bit of mining from this natural for a little while. Here it comes, and it does exactly that. No mining from here without my permission, he says. And there's no permission granted from BYUN. Second alien coming in hot. No pun intended. Or maybe yes, I don't know. And it's gonna be a whole mineral line blocked for Dream. As you can see in the supply, BYUN is getting there quite steadily. It's gonna be Banshee against Raven. And I really like BYUN's position over here.
Alright, looks like BYUN's gonna commit to it. Gonna go try to get some extra SCV, but doesn't quite get that last low life SCV. But you know what? At least got the scout. Delayed a little bit of mining time. As you can see, BYUN enjoying a small worker lead there, but not too much. Still got to contend with the Banshee, which looks like BYUN already getting that Raven will help pretty much counter the Banshee there.
They're not gonna be a cloaked Banshee, so not gonna be the biggest of nuisances. Mostly more probably a safety measure against some kind of harassment going on early. Oh, the lock-on for BYUN goes on much quicker than Dream. This Cyclone is gonna fall, but the Cyclone of BYUN is also gonna fall, and another one can start hacking through at these little SCVs quite freely. Oh, there goes a lock-on 1 SCP. Not the greatest choice ever. He's gonna get free. He's gonna lose the Cyclone. Meanwhile, the Banshee, making its way on the other side, is gonna find itself trapped by those Marines. Still not gonna fall, but just barely. Some interesting trades from Dream.
Yeah, all in all, pretty even trade there, I would say. Just both players just trading Cyclones, and he does at least save that Banshee, so we might see that Banshee do a bit more damage later on in the game once he kind of repairs it and then send it back. But Dream doing kind of a strategy that kind of got him that one game there with the Raven auto turrets behind the mineral line. Let's see how many SCV he can get. Last time in the first game in Submarine, he got like 8 SCVs with the Raven harass, but this time around, nice reaction time by BYUN. Won't lose any SCVs.
They will lose only the 1, but not gonna be the biggest of losses. The thing I'm concerned with the most is this huge army that BYUN has set up over here. This Banshee is falling down instantly. Interference magic stomping down on the tanks, and here comes the auto turrets. Dream's reflexes way too slow with this very, very threatening army coming this close to your natural. And the army of Dream melted in an instant. This command center, this orbital command, is now in very much danger. Yes, if he's get pulled into the fight, other turrets coming from all sides, from both players. It looks like Dream will be able to shoo this army away, losing 11 of his own SCPs. And this command center needs some serious repairing right now.
Yeah, I think BYUN will take it. Getting 11 SCVs there. He does lose the tanks, but he does have his dirt established there. He's got his mining up and running and his production up and running. He should be able to replenish those lost tanks. And remember, those Ravens still alive and still gaining energy.
Oh, and BYUN is not the player that likes to stop once he gets damaged. He wants to keep on going, keep on surpassing your army, and just slowly chip you away until you can have it anymore. And setting up Ravens and Vikings here in the left hand side of the map, it already leads me to think that he wants to get full map control. Vikings spread around as well as Marines. The Ravens from Dream are making their way into the main of BYUN on the right side, but they're gonna find a missile turret waiting for them just right there. Oh, auto turret still goes down, still get 1 SCV, probably 2. But BYUN doesn't really care about it. He's setting up his strong army once more, and he's waiting for the right moment to strike. 57 army to 45, 62 workers to 54. The only thing he's gonna be behind in right in a little bit is honestly going to be mules. Nothing else. Like, Dream has been mining a little bit more than his opponent for like the past few seconds, but look at this army go. Doesn't even matter if you lose this much. Auto turrets on top of every single tank, on top of every single piece of army that Dream had. He goes for a desperate move, sends his own Marines through the map over here, but it's not gonna be enough. BYUN, momentum has shifted. 3-1 lead for the Blue Terran.
All right, taking that commanding 3-1 lead, which means he is 1 game away from clinching the series. Dream is definitely going to have to rack up some wins if he wants to have any hopes alive. Because, yeah, this is a best of 7, so first to 4 wins wins the series.
Match point for BYUN. These men playing like crazy, and that first game won by Dream was setting up for a series completely different than the one we had. So I'm ever impressed in BYUN every single time. He just manages to astonish me in some way. So once more, beautiful game on Jagannatha. And I have to say, that was probably the most commanding game of them all this far.
Yeah, I think BYUN kind of had the handle on that game pretty much from the outsets of that game. So Yeah, BYUN looking to be in a really great shape. Let's see if a Dream can somehow, some way, pull this back.
He needs 3 in a row, and it's not been looking easy against his opponent. Spotting in the top right, in the bottom right hand corner, as the Red Terran. He plays for Good Gang Gaming, and he needs to do a miracle. It is Dream!
And spawn here at the top left corner of the map. He's the blue Terran player, hailing from Korea, looking to clinch this series. Can he do it? Guys, it is BYUN.
I love what is happening right now. Just one Rex being proxied by BYUN over here in the right hand side of the map. Just the one.
Yeah, I feel like this might be a Marauder rush.
You read my mind, my friend.
Oh man, Dream not scouting in the correct position. He's just gonna send his SCV through the middle. This could get ugly really soon, so...
Sending an SCV, that's the first time in this series, if I recall correctly. So, that's still some good spider senses. But Marauder rushes can go so badly if you don't know. If you do not expect them. If you expect Reapers, man, you're in for a rough time.
Yeah, I mean, this is, yeah, like, I think, yeah, as you mentioned, this is the first time he sent out an early SCV scout, so if there was ever a game to do so, this would be the correct one, as this is the only game that BYUN has proxied so far.
BYUN still decides to actually cancel the tech lab. Probably wasn't expecting the SCV scout, so it was a weird interaction, but he's gonna be waiting for a few Reapers to be proxied at that location, and then send the Rex back home. Meanwhile, a factory has been added, and it looks definitely like the game is adding to some standard rails with both players, just macroing it out, and no more cheese. He's gonna be issued from the one proxy Rex.
Oh, actually, the Reaper did not scout the Rex yet. So, Dream is probably thinking, like, what in the world is happening?
Yeah, it's a difficult spot for him to be in, but there is no real danger whatsoever. Both players really going for the same thing at the same time. Trying to play slowly, but Dream gets a little bit of a head on top of that one SCV. He's gonna lose one of his Reapers for free in that. Oh, but that one Reaper for Dream is gonna win the battle. And, oh yeah, I hate these scenarios as a Terran. And this right now is gonna be one epic Reaper getting on top of every single SCV for free before just dying to the Cyclone.
Alright, as you can see, 2 Reapers lost for each player, but the difference is BYUN does lose 3 SCVs, and at this stage of the game, before even the 4-minute mark, that is actually pretty decent damage there.
Yeah, it actually is pretty significant, and it's non-damage you cannot try to bite back. BYUN needs to do something. He's gonna go for a Banshee cloak, and I like the idea, but it also historically never worked in this series this far. So,
well, especially since Dream is going for that Raven outright, so yeah, I don't think that Banshee is gonna do too much damage.
There are 2 Cyclones making their way through the map for Dream. He feels confident to do so, and by all means, he should be confident to do that. He knows there's still no command center with his scan here on the low ground, and he will decide not to commit against the odds. So he's just gonna send the Cyclones back home before doing something stupid.
Now, could have been
Banshee time.
Oh, wait, what's that?
No, I just said it's Banshee time. What you were saying?
Oh, no, never mind. Anyhow, yeah, like you said, Banshee is making his way across the map. Cloak is about to finish, but once again, Dream does have that Raven, so as long as he parks his Raven and Cyclones in the correct place, he shouldn't lose too many SCVs. But here we go. Banshee is gonna... Oh, actually, did he just stop? Yeah, it looks like he stopped, actually.
Yeah, I stopped. Gonna wait for the second one and try to strike on 2 different sides at once, knowing there's probably gonna be just one Raven. But that is not the truth. There are 2 right now. And Dream has been very careful spreading them around, expecting eagerly those Banshees to come. And right now, that would be a very terrible idea to send those Banshees in.
Oh, wait, just to make sure, Dream has 1 win, right? Or does he has 2?
Yes, 1.
Okay, alright, just making sure. They got the right score there.
Alright, these Banshees gets past the Raven without Dream even remotely noticing. That is terrible news for the Red Terran, who's gonna lose a lot of SCVs basically for free. Here comes the lock-on, but it looks like BYUN doesn't really care. He's gonna get 2 more SCVs, lose the Banshee, and that one Banshee just killed 8 SCVs. Dream feels like he has an army advantage and he's gonna walk through the map, but that is not even remotely true. Actually, BYUN has a stronger army right now. He has Medivacs, which Dream has not.
Oh man, this is gonna be might be actually a little bit of a base trade because a lot of the BYUN's army is actually flying across at the same time. Dream is moving out, but Dream, look at that, he has 3 Ravens with a load of energy.
Oh, but he has also a lot of Marines on top of his production, and that will never go well for him. It looks like the production of Dream is melting right now. Right now, BYUN needs to stay on the high ground. Another auto turret gets used on the tank on the high ground. It looks like the tanks out of BYUN have won the fight on the low ground. Killing the tanks out of Dream is just the Ravens. Meanwhile, BYUN is devastating the base of Dream with these Marines. Beautiful, beautiful game number 5 is gonna close this series and this tournament. BYUN deservedly gets the title of champion.